The mood around this Bears team feels heavy right now, but it is also charged with urgency, and that tension starts on the defensive side of the ball. One of the biggest storylines heading into this playoff matchup is the possible return of Kyler Gordon, and it cannot be overstated how important even the possibility of his presence is for this defense. After missing a massive chunk of the season, there is renewed hope that his practice window could finally open, giving the Bears a chance to evaluate whether he can contribute when it matters most. This is not about expecting him to instantly look like peak Kyler Gordon after such a long absence. It is about getting a player back who understands the system, who brings versatility, and who can give this unit an energy boost it has desperately needed. Kyler Gordon's absence has forced the Bears to shuffle pieces in the secondary all season long, and that instability has shown up week after week. When you miss 14 games, especially with recurring issues that land you on injured reserve more than once, it takes a toll not just on the individual player, but on the entire structure of the defense. Gordon was expected to be a chess piece in Dennis Allen's system, lining up in multiple roles, contributing in coverage, supporting the run, and creating pressure in creative ways. That vision never fully came together, and the ripple effects have been obvious. The defense has struggled to find consistency, and opponents have taken advantage of mismatches far too easily. What makes Gordon's potential return even more significant is the current state of the cornerback room. Jalen Johnson has been fighting through his own injury issues for most of the season, and while some fans have grown frustrated with his recent performances, the context matters. He is not fully healthy, yet he continues to take the field because he understands what this team is playing for. That effort should not be dismissed. Expecting him to perform at an elite level while dealing with lingering physical limitations ignores the reality of what he is being asked to do. Despite some rough moments, his presence is still critical because the alternatives have not proven to be more reliable. Behind him, the concerns only grow. The coverage issues have been glaring, with opposing quarterbacks consistently finding success attacking the secondary. Missed assignments, poor positioning, and a lack of recovery speed have all contributed to big plays that swing momentum. When one corner struggles, it puts stress on the entire defense, forcing safeties to cheat toward coverage and opening up running lanes underneath. This domino effect is exactly what the Bears have been dealing with, and it is why any reinforcement, even one coming off injury, feels like a lifeline. If Kyler Gordon can return and handle even a limited role, it gives the coaching staff more options. His ability to cover quicker receivers, his comfort playing inside, and his effectiveness when used as a blitzer all add layers to the defensive game plan. That flexibility matters in the playoffs, where matchups are everything and adjustments must happen quickly. Pairing Gordon with other versatile defensive backs could allow Dennis Allen to disguise coverages better and take some pressure off players who have been overextended in recent weeks. Still, the concerns go far beyond one player. The Bears' defense as a whole has not lived up to expectations this season, and injuries have played a major role in that. When you look at the list of key contributors who have missed time, it becomes clear why this unit has struggled to find rhythm. The run defense has been inconsistent, the pass rush has disappeared for long stretches, and communication breakdowns have been far too common. It feels like the Bears never truly got to see what this defense was supposed to look like when all the pieces were working together. That reality makes the timing of these issues even more frustrating. Heading into the playoffs, there is no margin for error. Every missed tackle, every blown coverage, every hesitation gets magnified. This is where the mental side of the game becomes just as important as the physical. Players returning from injury have to trust their bodies, and coaches have to trust their preparation enough to put them in positions to succeed without overexposing them. The situation with the cornerback rotation only adds another layer of intrigue. Decisions about playing time, matchups, and roles are sending subtle signals about trust and future plans. When certain players are left on the sideline during critical moments, it naturally raises questions about where they stand within the organization. These are not just short-term decisions for one playoff game. They reflect broader evaluations that will carry into the offseason, especially for players nearing the end of their rookie contracts. At the same time, the focus cannot drift too far ahead. This team has a playoff game in front of them, and everything about the past few weeks has to be processed quickly and then left behind. That mindset has been echoed by the coaching staff, particularly by Ben Johnson, who has emphasized the importance of turning the page. The message is clear. What happened last week does not matter unless it is used as fuel to be better in the next game. Turning the page, however, is easier said than done when the defensive performance has been so uneven. The Bears have given up too many explosive plays, allowed opposing offenses to dictate tempo, and failed to get off the field in critical situations. Those issues do not disappear just because the calendar says playoffs. They have to be addressed through execution, communication, and accountability on every snap. This is where leadership becomes vital. Veterans playing through pain, younger players stepping into uncomfortable roles, and coaches owning their mistakes all contribute to setting the tone. Dennis Allen has been direct about his own shortcomings and the need to coach better, and that kind of honesty can resonate within a locker room. Acknowledging failure is the first step toward fixing it, but the real test comes on the field. The Bears are at a crossroads defensively. They do not need perfection, but they need urgency, discipline, and players willing to rise to the moment. If Kyler Gordon can be part of that equation, even in a limited capacity, it could change how opponents attack this defense. More importantly, it could restore some confidence to a unit that has been searching for answers all season long. As the focus shifts forward, the question hanging over this Bears team is whether the defense can truly reset its identity when the stakes are at their highest. Ben Johnson's message about turning the page resonates because it reflects a mindset this franchise has desperately needed for years. Too often in the past, bad losses have lingered, bleeding into the next week and snowballing into extended stretches of poor football. This time, the expectation is different. This roster is not built to simply be happy about reaching the playoffs. It is built to compete, and that means confronting hard truths without letting them define what comes next. The recent struggles on defense have exposed flaws that cannot be ignored. Opponents have found too much space in the middle of the field. Receivers have been able to separate far too easily, and the lack of a consistent pass rush has put immense pressure on the secondary. When quarterbacks are allowed to sit comfortably in the pocket, even the best coverage units eventually crack. For the Bears, that breaking point has come far too quickly in several games, leading to long drives that sap momentum and confidence. What makes this situation even more challenging is the context of where the team stands historically. This franchise has not been in the playoffs since 2020, and it has been even longer since it truly controlled the division. That reality adds weight to every snap. Players know what this moment means to the city, to the fans who show up regardless of record, weather, or expectation. There is pride attached to wearing this uniform in January, and there's also pressure that comes with knowing how rare these opportunities have been. Ben Johnson's approach reflects an understanding of that balance. He has emphasized effort, preparation, and accountability, while also making it clear that excuses will not carry this team forward. Turning the page is not about pretending the last couple of weeks did not happen. It is about refusing to let those performances dictate what happens next. In the playoffs, identity matters, but adaptability matters just as much. Teams that survive are the ones that learn quickly and adjust without hesitation. For the Bears, that adjustment starts with consistency. Relying on late comebacks has been thrilling, but it is not a sustainable formula in postseason football. Every quarter has to matter. Every drive has to be approached with urgency, whether the team is ahead, behind, or tied. The margin for error shrinks dramatically, and small mistakes that were once survivable can now end season. This is especially true against familiar opponents who know your tendencies and are eager to exploit them. The offense has shown it can rise to the occasion. Chemistry between the quarterback and his receiving options has grown throughout the season, even if it has not always been seamless. Different players have stepped up at different times, which speaks to the depth and resilience of a unit. That adaptability has helped carry the team through stretches where execution was not perfect. However, in the playoffs, balance becomes essential. The offense cannot be expected to constantly bail out a defense that is struggling to get stops. That brings the conversation back to the defensive side of the ball and the challenge laid out by Dennis Allen. His acknowledgement that both coaching and execution fell short is not an attempt to deflect blame. It is an admission that this unit has not played to its potential. Allowing massive yardage totals and struggling to contain top receivers are symptoms of deeper issues, including communication breakdowns and missed assignments. Fixing those problems requires more than just effort. It requires clarity in roles and trust between players. Trust is built through preparation and repetition, two things that injuries have disrupted all season long. The Bears have rarely had the luxury of fielding the same defensive lineup week after week. That instability has made it difficult to develop rhythm, especially in the secondary. When players are constantly adjusting to new responsibilities, hesitation creeps in, and hesitation is deadly at this level. The hope is that with key players inching closer to health, even partial continuity can make a difference. The mental challenge cannot be overstated. Playoff football exposes weaknesses quickly, and once those weaknesses are identified, opponents will attack them relentlessly. The Bears must be ready to respond, not just with adjustments on the sideline, but with confidence on the field. That confidence comes from knowing that mistakes will be corrected, not compounded. It comes from believing that the man next to you understands his assignment and will execute it. There's also an emotional element to this moment that cannot be ignored. Playing at home in the playoffs brings an energy that is impossible to replicate. The crowd will be loud, demanding, and fully invested. That atmosphere can elevate performance, but can also amplify nerves if the team starts slow. The Bears have to harness that energy, not fight it. Early execution, especially on defense, could go a long way towards setting the tone and calming any lingering doubts. This is where leadership within the locker room becomes crucial. Veterans who have experienced both success and failure understand how quickly a season can slip away. Their voices matter in moments like this, when preparation meets pressure. Younger players, many of whom are experiencing playoff football for the first time, will look to those leaders for cues on how to handle the moment. Composure, communication, and accountability all start there. The Bears are not being asked to be flawless. They're being asked to be resilient, disciplined, and connected. A defense does not need to dominate to win playoff games, but must be timely. It must find ways to get stops when momentum is swinging and opportunities are there to seize. That might mean forcing a turnover, tightening up in the red zone, or simply executing a clean series that gives the offense a chance to breathe. As this team prepares for its next challenge, everything circles back to belief. Belief in the system, belief in the preparation, and belief that the struggles of the past few weeks do not define the ceiling of this group. The Bears have already defied expectations by reaching this point. Now the task is to prove that this run is not just a story about surprise, but about substance, growth, and a team learning how to win when it matters most. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are circulating in NFL circles that the Chicago Bears could be facing a prolonged absence at one of their most critical positions. Sources close to the team suggest that running back DeAndre Swift has suffered a concussion severe enough to keep him off the field for several months, potentially delaying his return until March. The timing and severity of this injury have raised eyebrows across the league, leaving fans and analysts speculating about the impact on the Bears' offensive schemes. Swift, known for his explosive speed and uncanny ability to find gaps in the defense, has been a cornerstone of Chicago's ground game. His absence would leave a significant void, not only in rushing yards, but also in the passing game, where he's been a reliable target out of the backfield. Coaches are reportedly scrambling to adjust playbooks and prepare backups for a stretch that could test the depth of the roster. Rumors hint that internal discussions within the organization are intense, as there's a growing sense that the team must balance player safety with maintaining competitiveness in the coming months. The speculation doesn't stop with the team's strategy. League insiders are debating how this hiatus could affect Swift's career trajectory and potential future contracts. Some analysts argue that missing significant time could slow his momentum, while others believe that a cautious recovery could prolong his career in the long run. Either way, the chatter has set social media alight, with Bears fans expressing a mix of concern and hope. While the organization has remained tight-lipped, the implication of a March return suggests that medical staff are taking a highly conservative approach. If true, this timeline would not only influence the team's immediate tactics, but also spark conversations around concussion protocols, player wellness, and the physical toll of the game. As rumors swirl, one thing is certain. The Bears' backfield picture is suddenly clouded with uncertainty, and everyone from pundits to casual fans will be watching closely for any signs of Swift's recovery. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.